got the wrestling talk. We've got the goods. Stay off the road. Here comes Tiger Woods. Wait a minute. What show are we listening to? This isn't a golf talk.
Golf talk.
But, you know, you could say a car is like a private chamber. Some people get eliminated, but this is the Shoot Brothers Wrestling Podcast. I am Mike the Shoot Shepherd. That is Cameron Thunder Elimination Chamber Osborne.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, you know, we've got wrestling. We've got pay-per-view talk. AEW is having a pay-per-view on a Sunday in a couple weeks. Isn't that weird?
It is weird. I thought Saturday was their day.
So did I. And then I'm like, yeah. But anyways, we're all over the place. We've got championship belts to hand out, some title changes. We got lots of stuff to talk about.
Mike, it's been a fun past couple weeks and what will be kind of like the next 2 weeks, because remember when this was, folks, old fans of the show will certainly remember that beautiful period of time. It was somewhere around in October, November, but like we went to Saudi and then NXT and then we had another pay-per-view. And remember there was like a 4-week span where it felt like we had a pay-per-view every single weekend. So it's great that we have a week in the middle to kind of just, you know, all gather our thoughts.
Yeah.
Bring ourselves back to reality. Yeah, you're right, because let's not even wait anymore, because hot off the heels of Vengeance Day, we have another pay-per-view. Of course, we're talking about the Elimination Chamber.
Review. That's right. The structure. I saw you had your tally page open. Did you keep track all night?
Mike, I was so disappointed. They didn't say it once.
Wow.
They didn't say it once. And then my mind started going like I need to find new buzzwords, like unforgiving.
Maybe they listen to the show.
I have no idea. And then
Maybe Vince is like, God damn it, are we that obvious? We got to change it.
halfway through the SmackDown side of the chamber, which was, you know, the first one, I started thinking to myself, like, am I the crazy one? Have they not been saying this at all?
I mean, no, we've definitely heard it, but on that night, I guess.
I'm asking myself, is that more of a Hell in a Cell thing? I'm like, oh God, I mean, I didn't think so. I thought they. I was just kind of all over the place. So I do, yeah. It was so unceremonious too. And I remember I sent you a photo. I had my pad of paper.
Oh yeah.
I think the title was written in blue, and then I had a red one ready to kind of mark off all the tallies. And of course, I was going to do the old school prison day counting style tally: 1, 2, 3, 4 / 1, 2, 3, 4 /
Mm-hmm.
God damn it! It just never happened.
A waste of a good sheet of paper.
I know. I was so disappointed. But yeah, I was so disappointed. But yeah, of course, we do have the chamber, which is apparently not even a structure. So somewhere between our last show, I think, and the chamber, WWE announces Keith Lee is hurt. For some reason,
not COVID.
He was supposed to be in that triple threat with Matt Riddle and Bobby Lashley earlier on in the night. So the pre-show, for the first time, Mike, I tuned in halfway through the pre-show.
But in time to see the match, or were you halfway through the match?
In time to at least see the match, they kind of threw together this fatal 4-way for that triple threat match later on in the night. Mustafa Ali, John Morrison, Ricochet, Elias. And all of Retribution, I guess, hanging out ringside.
Yeah.
T-Bar, Mace.
Reckoning's back.
Reckoning, yep.
Yeah, they're still beefing with Ricochet, so he was fucking around with them, and that gives John Morrison the opportunity to roll up Mustafa Ali and get himself into the match later. So, you know, at least this match had implications. It meant something.
It actually meant something for the title that we've been just kind of praying for weeks to mean something. John Morrison in singles matches, in anytime he gets an opportunity,
that as well,
singles guy, it's so cool because it's like you're watching it. Like, I know you're older than the other guys, but god damn it, you're just as quick. I like, I think part of the AJ Styles appeal for me is knowing that he's in his early 40s. I'm like, wow.
Well, I mean, how often on this show do we bring up wrestlers' ages? Especially the older ones. Like, wow, they're 41.
You mean 39-year-old Damien Priest? But yeah, so we are going to get John Morrison in added to that triple threat match.
Yeah.
Later on in the night, which is great. But yeah, the show does actually kick off with. It used to be called an unforgiving structure. Now it's just called a piece of metal. 10 tons. Is that what they said? 2 tons of steel?
Yeah, multiple tons, thousands of pounds. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's what the word is. They either say tons or they're referencing to how like the size of the actual chamber itself. But we are getting that SmackDown. We're getting the SmackDown side.
Yeah, not for the belt. The winner gets a title shot this very night, though, so got to stay ready.
Of course, you're going to have to go back, get that little bandage around your belly, and then you're going to have to you might have to get right back out there.
So we got Sami Zayn, King Corbin, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, and then the 2 men who start in the ring, Cesaro and Daniel Bryan, which is probably the 2 I would pick as well, so great choice. And yeah, they just have a good little match, good chemistry going. And the first guy out's Corbin, but the sooner he comes in, the sooner we can get him out. So, and then we get the typical, guys getting thrown into the pods, that plexiglass, using the chains as weapons, which I speculate is painted rubber. A lot of those chains painted to look like steel.
I wonder, how you can find like the plastic ones.
Yeah, like that.
That look the exact same. But yeah, those might. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what it was? Back in the day when Hunter invented this single-handedly, when this came to a dream that Hunter was having one night in his slumber, he pictured metal, baby. He didn't picture any of this plastic rubber shit.
Yeah, but then they're like, this shit's fucking heavy. What are we doing here? But then Sami Zayn comes out next, but then he tries to like hold his door shut and stay in his pod and starts laughing at Corbin. But then Cesaro sneaks around the other side, just starts slamming him all around the pod.
The backup door. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
There's 2 doors, bro.
I didn't know that 2 doors opened.
Yeah, I think the ref just kind of opened. She's like, well, go ahead, Cesaro. But so Sammy starts climbing the cage, trying to get away, and Cesaro climbs up after him, slams him into the wall, and then Cesaro grabs onto the roof. And as he's hanging there, he just kicks Sammy. Falls to the floor, and Cesaro's so pumped he starts doing chin-ups through the roof.
Chin-ups to the roof. That's a new one. I think last year we saw Lucha House Party climb all the way to the top there, but they weren't
chin-ups.
They weren't kicking a couple reps out. And I think this was after a point where Cesaro had a particularly grueling little spin that he was given on somebody.
Yeah, he threw out a couple good.
Can't remember who it was,
match.
but it was. I think it may have been Jey Uso Daniel Bryan just before this, but he was doing like half circles instead.
Oh yeah.
So you
wasn't
have to
he like holding him by one leg at one point?
So you have to like do it and stop, and then like re-rotate and stop again, climb up to the chamber, bust out a couple chin-ups. Fucking Cesaro was all over the place in this one.
Yeah, and then soon after this, he hits another swing, the big swing on Corbin. Puts him in the sharpshooter, taps him out, so he's eliminated. Moving on.
With a sharpshooter, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that move's been getting over these last 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, he's been making it work as a submission guy because he's not the flashiest of offenses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean
he's not busting up to the top rope and flipping over.
Not too often.
He had a moment in this from the second rope, but yeah, that's not the type of guy he is. He just knows how to put on fucking classics.
Oh, yeah. Then we get Kevin Owens coming out next. Sammy wants to team up with him. He's like, come on, man, our history. But Owens is like, fuck you. Slams him away. And then finally, Jey Uso's the last man in. So we got everyone in here, except for Corbin. He's already gone, but... They're all brawling, and then Owens climbs on top one of the pods, hits a big moonsault off the top of the crowd onto the... Yeah, that was a nice spot.
That was a big one.
And then back in the ring, he hits Sammy with a stunner, eliminates him. But as Sammy is exiting the chamber, Uso pokes Owens in the eyes and then just starts slamming the giant door onto Kevin's arm, trapping him. Then he super kicks him in the head, hits the Uso splash, gets a 3 count. Just like that, Owens is gone.
Just like that.
Yeah, but, continuing that beef with the tribe. So now we're down to final 3. Usos going after Bryan's leg, just targeting that. Cesaro gets involved. He starts swinging Bryan around, but then Uso super kicks Cesaro, hits a splash, eliminates him. So we're down to just Uso and Bryan. First man in, first man out.
There was a lot of I really enjoyed all this shit here where this was the point in the match. I think you and I didn't even think about this last week when we were just talking about it. Shit, what if Jey Uso wins?
Yeah, I mean,
I never thought about that going into last week, but then him and Daniel Bryan are starting to go at it, and he's getting a lot of offense in there. I'm thinking to myself, like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, he was looking like he wanted to win this thing. So, anyways, down to just the two of them. Uso hits another Uso splash, but Bryan kicks out at 2. So Uso's got to one-up it. He climbs all the way up to the top of the pod for a super splash, but Bryan gets his knees up, and then he follows up with the big running knee, and that gets him the 3 count. So Bryan has won the Elimination Chamber for his 3rd time, I believe.
3rd time, I know. Well, I think they did say that. Well, I've seen 2.
Yeah, I think the other one was when he was heel Daniel Bryan in his first world title run.
Oh, okay.
And the final 2 was him and Santino Marella, believe it or not.
Now, is that the guy with the Cobra?
The Cobra, yeah.
Nice. Hey,
so no one really expected
get
him
it
to.
over. Isn't that the guy? Doesn't he have the school that's in Mississauga?
He does. I think I might have heard. Yeah. But yeah, so Daniel Bryan's your winner. But he's beaten up. He's broken down on the mat. He just went through that grueling match. But he's got a world title shot, universal title shot. And Roman Reigns' music hits because that's happening right now, brother.
Oh, God. Poor guy. Poor guy.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't wait till the end of the night, but I guess not. So we're getting it right now. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Title on the line. Bryan's in big trouble. He can barely even stand. But they did give him one small hope spot, which I love. So Reigns goes for the big spear. Bryan counters into the S-lock. And for a second, you think, can he pull off this miracle?
Can he pull out the miracle that he's tried? He's tried this before. Remember when we got that lock in on Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, and I felt the same way. I'm like, can he do it?
I kicked him in the balls, and you're like, oh, this could actually happen.
But no, Roman Reigns powers his way out and just starts pummeling Bryan with blows and big power bomb. Not even a spear. He just locks in that guillotine, and the ref calls for the bell. Bryan's passed out. So Reigns defends his title. Cheap way, but he doesn't have time to celebrate because he turns around right into a spear from Edge, who does the famous point at the Wrestlemania sign as pyro goes off.
So pyro? Oh, God, that can only mean one thing.
It's official. Reigns versus Edge. That's your main event.
Main event, I know. I was so bummed out because I was still banking hard on Edge Randy. Which is of course, but as that Mania match, that's what I thought it could have been.
Yeah, they'll have another.
But this is it. This is spear versus spear, and this is big because Edge. I mean, I don't know. Was he back in the day? Was he a Raw or SmackDown guy?
He was on both, but more SmackDown.
True. Like he's that's kind of coming back to his spot, his home.
Yeah. He definitely felt like it was his home. He was like an AJ Styles, where he's like, "This is my house," without the accent. Speaking
spear versus spear, that'll be the main event for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of Edge, I have to do a quick mention because he was on Hockey Night in Canada.
I did watch the clip a little bit later on.
Yeah, my favorite part was his T-shirt, the nice little Brody Lee with the Toronto Maple Leaf logo on it.
Yeah, the Brody Lee T-shirt.
And the Leafs, first place in the league still, so we're doing well, Edge.
Thanks, Edge.
But let's move along here, because we got this triple threat United States Championship match. Bobby Lashley versus Riddle versus John Morrison. We're in that spot. And this was, pretty solid. Nice, quick pace match, Lashley's doing the big powerhouse shit. Riddle and Morrison, I think they team up for a little bit. They're both hitting some nice big dives to the floor. Morrison's just like parkouring off everything. There's a little spin in parkour. What I like about that, because that's like in real parkour, you're supposed to land it. But in wrestling parkour, you can just kind of barrel roll spin, and you can just crash into people.
Someone will catch you. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So Riddle hits a floating bro on Lashley, and then Morrison kicks Riddle in the head. He hits a Starship Pain on Lashley and covers him, but he kicks out. And then on the outside of the ring, MVP is yelling at Morrison, but he's still limping around on his crutch. So Morrison steals the crutch, takes a swing at Lashley, but he ducks it. He gets Morrison trapped in the hurt lock, and then Riddle finds the crutch on the ground and then just smashes it to pieces over Lashley's back. But it's all legal in a triple threat match. So that takes out the champ. Riddle picks up Morrison, hits the Bro Derek, gets the win. New U.S. champ, Riddle.
New U.S. champ, Riddle! Matt Riddle, as I used to call him. Why don't more people do shenanigans and triple threats?
Yeah, this worked. I mean, I like it. Even when a babyface does it, it's, Lashley deserved it for being a dick.
Of course, he was being a dick, and Matt Riddle. Yes, this is his second, or he had those NXT titles, or the tag titles.
The tag title.
So pretty good.
First main roster, first singles championship.
Now, hopefully.
No, we're both
Well, that's exactly what it is, right? It's if you're gonna, you put the belt on somebody new, have it be for a reason, have it be cool in the process. I don't know, especially somebody that you want leading your mid card.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's what it'll do. I mean, it seems clear that Lashley's trying to move up the card right now anyway, so this will open things up for the Riddles, the Keith Lees, the Morrisons, the Ricochets of the world to challenge for this belt.
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. Who's our mid card heel right now?
I guess, if Lashley's gonna main event, Retribution's too low. I don't know who's in the middle.
Retribution's too low. Collectively, they're too low. I like also that.
I mean, the Fiend's still around.
I like also that in the past 5 or 6 months, WWE has really upped their kind of in-house security, because it was very easy early on for Retribution to kind of get easy access to, like the production truck and the broadcast. They were able to the power grid. They were able to influence the show in so many ways. But Vince kind of upped security, so they're not able to do so.
Or Adam Pearce buckled down.
Maybe that's what it is. Adam Pearce is like, guys, we're using this outdated cloud-based security system.
And then we get a little, I don't remember when this happened, but at some point during the show, there's a little backstage. We don't hear what they're saying, but we see MVP talking to Miz. He's proposing some sort of deal, pointing at that briefcase, like, "Hey, the shot tonight."
We can't quite hear what they're saying, but pointing at the briefcase, then pointing at the Miz, and then
Miz is doing fingers on the chin with the frown smile.
So, listeners at home, we've pretty much just described what it looks. MVP points at the briefcase, points at the Miz, and then points kind of down the hall towards a general something that might be in that general direction. So
as Miz ponders,
use with that, take that information and decipher it as you wish.
As you wish. Did you wish for this match? We got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defending the women's tag titles against Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair.
I was no. Is that what you were looking for?
No, but the match was actually decent. I mean, you got Sasha, Bianca in there. And Shayna Baszler pulls her weight. She got a lot of weight to pull on that team. No offense, but let's get on with it. Bianca hits a glam slam. Sasha hits a frog splash. That was their big near fall. And then Sasha was in control over Nia, but Reginald comes down. He's got the champagne. He tries to roll a bottle to Sasha for her to use as a weapon, but she's like, "No, fuck that." And the ref runs over. He catches her, snatches it, and this whole distraction allows Nia to attack from behind, hit a sloppy Samoan drop, and get the 3 count.
On who did she get the 3 count on?
On Sasha Banks.
What?
I mean, it was either going to be her or Bianca. They're both not.
So, okay, I didn't like this match actually at all, which is crazy. Nah, maybe not crazy, but for me, this was one of those TV matches where two singles performers are about to go at it, so you pair them up in a tag, and they either get the win or kind of ends in a DQ to further whatever the heck they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know why Sasha and Bianca were in this. Like, why not just give Lana and Naomi the shot they're supposed to get?
Or I was going to say, we were surprised with a mystery challenger for Asuka. I don't know. This match felt like a TV match because we're we only have one pay-per-view to go before WrestleMania, but I don't know who are we supposed to cheer for in Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks? I don't know. Who's the piece of shit who we don't want to win? I don't know.
I mean, they should have had like Nia Jax pick up the champagne and smash Sasha with it.
Yeah, at least that would book it that would book ourselves in a way that, you know.
So this is one of the rare times where we would have rather a DQ finish or a bullshit finish.
I would rather have had a DQ finish.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Don't quote me on that.
But let's just move on. Because we got the main event of the evening, the Raw Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. You got Drew McIntyre defending against Sheamus, Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles, and the two men who start, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton. Excuse me, who have plenty of history together, those two.
Oh, plenty. The star power in this match alone sells it as the main event.
Yeah, and I mean it's the one.
Remember
for the
Kofi
title
Mania? Do you remember Kofi Mania?
Of course. A brief 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
Wow. But yeah, things start out well. Hardy and Orton going back and forth until Drew is the next man released, or the first man released from his pod. He's on a roll for a bit. And then at one point, he throws Jeff headfirst into one of the pods. Then he just yells at the cameraman. He's like, I told you to move.
I told you to get out of the way.
Yeah,
I was like,
he wasn't that close.
Poor guy.
I mean,
poor
and then after that spot, I was thinking, I'm like, they really do a good job of hiding the two cameramen inside the chamber the whole match.
Hey,
you barely ever noticed them.
Kevin Dunn's work.
Do not praise Kevin Dunn.
Well, he's the guy. He's the one who does it.
He's the one pressing the buttons, but the actual cameramans are the one getting the shots.
Yeah, but I think
making sure that the other cameraman's not
I
in the
think Kevin Dunn, but he's got the headset. He's he's camera 1.
Yeah.
Camera 2. Like that kind of thing. Hey, I don't want to have to praise the man, but I love me a good video switcher.
Okay. Well, Kofi Kingston's out next. He makes a quick impact because Orton goes after him. Kofi catches him with this nice little pin and holds him down for the 3. Just like that, Orton's gone.
I know, just like that. My prediction.
Yeah, in flames.
I know.
Much like The Fiend. But he's pissed off. He's not going to take this lightly, so he just RKOs a bunch of guys on his way out. So everyone's down in the ring. AJ Styles sees a good opportunity here, but he's still trapped in his pod. So he tells Omos to get him out of there. And he just rips the plexiglass right off the chamber. So AJ can now just hop out, go through the front door. And yeah, he just does that, jumps in, starts beating up all the guys that are down. Adam Pearce comes out angry, banishes Omos from ringside. Doesn't matter now, though.
Have we ever seen that? Somebody break in through the back?
I don't think so. Not like this.
Cool.
Anyways, Drew's going on a run here. Sheamus is the last man out, so they're going after each other. Eventually, Kofi climbs up to the top of the pod for his giant trust fall spot onto the 4 guys.
Of course, we knew it was coming.
Yeah, someone's got to jump off that every time, but... soon after that, Sheamus recovers and Brogue kicks Kofi to eliminate him. And then Jeff Hardy, he has some of his big moments. Twist of fate on AJ. He climbs to the top of the pod looking for the Swanton Bomb. But AJ rolls out of the way. So Hardy changes his aim and then hits like the whisper in the wind onto Drew and Sheamus. So that was his big spot.
Everyone's got to get a big one, except I guess we didn't get the big RKO.
Not during, yeah.
But
then, so he goes to hit another Swanton on AJ, but then Drew comes flying in with a Claymore, so Hardy's eliminated there. It's down to the 3 men, so Sheamus and Drew are beating each other up. AJ goes for a springboard 450, but he seemed to hobble a bit on the rope, as very rare slip up from AJ, but he still kind of recovered, just did like a springboard senton.
He switched it up, mid.
He switched it.
That's what we call improv, baby.
But then AJ says, fuck this, I'm hitting it. So he just goes right back over to the rope and then successfully does the 450. He can just say he was building up to it.
Yeah, he was building up to it. Give him a chance. He's like 43.
Oh, I mean, even the botch, he's made it look good, so it's fine.
Even AJ Styles makes botches look good.
But then soon after that, Sheamus brogue kicks Drew, but then AJ comes flying in with a phenomenal forearm on Sheamus and pins him. So the final two is Drew and AJ. Nice to see Styles in there. He goes for another phenomenal forearm, but Drew hits him midair with a Claymore, and that gets him the final pinfall to win the match, defend his title.
Turned him inside out too. It was when AJ did like a full flip on that on that Claymore. God, would have liked to see Sheamus and Drew there at the end.
Yeah, I think
those
they're
two big motherfuckers go at it.
Yeah, it'll happen sometime. But so after the big win, Drew celebrating, but as he is, the chamber is rising very quickly, which made me suspicious.
Usually they have kind of like a 1 horsepower chugga chugga. Like you can kind of like when you're kind of going up on a roller coaster, they kind of like ascend at that pace. But this guy, they had a couple people just cranking this one out.
Yeah, so I was suspicious. And then when Bobby Lashley comes out and starts beating up Drew, I'm like, oh boy, this is happening. So he spears Drew. He just pounds him on the ground, beats him all around the ring, locks in the hurt lock, slams him down. And then immediately after, The Miz comes out with the ref in tow. He's officially cashing in the briefcase for a title shot right now. So we get right into that. Drew versus Miz. Miz goes right after him. Big DDT. Gets a 2 count. Then he picks up Drew, hits a skull-crushing finale, and that gets him the 3 count. New WWE champion, The Miz.
And new.
Yeah.
I mean, we said, MVP, God, I hate to say I saw it coming. But yeah, but just like that, that's why you hold the contract, because it can happen at any time. Every time there's a cash-in, regardless of who it is, and maybe I just need to go back on past years' cash-ins to really find the best combination of performer and officiant. It's never fast enough for me. It's always they come down to the ring, they shove the briefcase in their face, and they say, "I'm cashing in now." And then the ref official goes, "Are you cashing in?" And then there's a response, and then the official goes over to the timekeeper and goes, "Here's the briefcase. This person is cashing in." And then the person at like the score table, like the Mike Rome of this kind of situation, always looks confused back at them and saying, "They're cashing in." And then the official, "Yes, confirmation." And then with a wondering look on their face of they don't know what's happening, the scorekeeper always goes, "Is cashing in their Money in the Bank." I want it to be fucking 6 seconds. I'm cashing in. Sweet. He's cashing in. He's cashing in. Boom. Let's go. Because I love it when it works, but I always want it to be just a little bit faster.
I do think this time was pretty fast. He came out with the ref already in tow. The ref knew what was up, and he just handed the briefcase over.
Bring the ref from backstage. The ref that's hanging out in Gorilla at all times. Bring him so you can have that little discussion before the match. And then you come out, hey, he's cashing in. It removes like 10 seconds of the process.
Yeah, I think that's what he did here. And that's it. That's the new champ. I like it. Well deserved for The Miz. He's a 2-time champ. What does this mean for WrestleMania?
What does this mean for WrestleMania? Who knows? God, who knows? We'll have to see. Of course, we are going on the road. We still have Fastlane in the middle. That was the pay-per-view. And as soon as this happened at the very end, I had kind of like a vitamin C graduation sort of horribly made slideshow of my grade 8 year, but interspliced with photos and video clips of Drew McIntyre as our WWE champion, because he was and it's been quite a ride. Drew McIntyre covering the entire Kovitude era, short of that 2 weeks that the Ran Man jumped in there and he came back. I don't know if this is it for Drew, but if it is, he did a damn good job. I gotta say it. I just have to a little pre-rest in peace.
No, I don't think his reign's over yet. I think he's going to maybe even win it back at Mania. Who knows?
That would be fantastic. But if this is it, I just have to say,
Okay.
I just have to say what an incredible run it really has been.
Okay. All right. But yeah, pretty good pay-per-view overall. Both chambers were fun.
Yeah, both chambers were fun. Hopefully next year we get two for the
Women.
two women's belts. Exactly. Yeah.
they deserve
Hopefully, it's kind of like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. But not in a creepy, not in a professional way. Not in
the Jonah Hill cock way.
No, exactly. Not in a weird way. Anyways, that was the pay-per-view. So let's get rolling on with the show, shall we? Let's kick it off. We got a tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. My voice always goes up when I say that. I say like tweet of the week.
Well, it's like a bird chirp.
Chirp, 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 chirp. We're giving this week's tweet of the week out to, we just saw him in the SmackDown's chamber. He is my Intercontinental Champion. Of course, we're talking about Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, who earlier on in the week posted a screenshot of his fantasy hockey league. He's in a fantasy hockey league, just like many of us are in fantasy leagues. And it kind of had this caption on here that said, even though he's gone, Brody Lee could not be replaced in our fantasy hockey league. We kept him in, renamed the league in his honor, and auto-drafted his team. We set up his lines weekly. And as you can see, he's trouncing me this week because in week 4 of their hockey league, I don't know who else is in the league or anything like that, but Brody Lee beat Sami Zayn 10-0.
Well,
in all the categories, he beat Sami Zayn in goals, assists, points, plus minus, penalty minutes, which is they tied. I think that's a negative stat. Power play points, shorthanded points, and more shot on goals. And finally, I can only imagine that he'd be shit talking me right now. Which is exactly that. I'd love to know who else is in this fantasy league. I picture
Jericho, maybe.
I picture mostly Canadians.
Yeah,
probably.
Kevin Owens, probably.
Maybe Kevin Owens. I can see Fandango being there.
Tyler
Breeze. Sorry, Tyler
Sean
Breeze
Spears.
being in there. I wonder who else. Are kind of these professional wrestling hockey fans. But apparently Brody Lee's team's kicking ass right now.
Well, you know what? I think they know he's a Leaf fan. They probably drafted Matthews and Marner, which is helping him a lot.
Auto drafted just mostly Leafs players, so we can get
this year. Yeah. Sami Zayn, that's who's winning it.
Yeah, I think
right?
Yeah, Sami Zayn's winning the championship, but also quick little shout out to the Brody Lee and the entire hockey team. Who else?
So multiple Brody hockey references this week.
A couple. Yeah, well, if the Leafs are doing well, he'd be going nuts right now.
Oh yeah. Yes. His we're doing it for you, Brody. We're going to win it for you.
The Leafs are doing it for you, bud. Edge is doing it for you, bud.
All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's get into the show because, when you do something on Sunday, so far, Monday has always followed Sunday. There has not been a week where we kind of suddenly jump to Tuesday or something.
Yeah, even when there's leap years and time changes, we never skip a day.
No matter, even if, sometimes we will go from day 28 to day 1 sometimes, but if that transition occurs on a Sunday to Monday, the Monday will always occur. So of course, let's get into Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
We are fresh off of our brand new WWE champion, of course, holding that belt upside down. I love it, Mike. I always have my little spinner constantly in Miz mode, as I call it. There's Cena mode, or maybe there's Punk mode, Miz mode. I love it when he holds that thing upside down.
Yeah, looks good. His little side plates had the upside down WWE logo as well. So. So we kick off Miz TV, him and Morrison. Miz looking good with that belt. Some guys it just looks better on than others.
Hey, exactly.
Maybe because he presents himself that way, but Anyways, they got the red carpet, they got the balloons, the fireworks. Miz just cuts a promo. He's fired up about being the champ, calling himself the best. Lashley and MVP come out because they got some hurt business to discuss here. MVP congratulates him, but you omitted the part where Lashley destroyed Drew, allowing you to cash in. But Miz is like, yeah, I was getting there, but me and Morrison got some celebrating to do, so if you guys want to continue, go right ahead. And they go to leave the ring, but MVP's like, hold up, we're not done here. So anyways, he wants to disclose the terms of their business meeting, and your man Morrison cost Lashley the U.S. title. Now you got to make things right. Lashley helped you win that title, so he's first in line to challenge for it. You owe us a debt. So anyways, Miz says, yeah, I promised you a title match, but I didn't say when. I got interviews, Fastlane, WrestleMania, so many things to do. So Bobby just grabs him and says, we made a deal. You got 1 hour. Come to your senses. And we get a little countdown clock throughout the show.
Why do more people not make deals like that? As soon as I was like, yeah, that's a great point. That's a great deal.
Yeah, you win the title, and then...
Or you would think just anybody. Yeah, anybody anywhere would be like, hey, I'll help you. You help me. It seems as though Adam Pearce has his hand. He's too hands-on, if you ask me.
Too hands-on.
Yeah, we should let some of these. Performers start booking their own championship matches.
I mean, it played out.
It works.
But then John Morrison's taking on Riddle, the new U.S. champ, who he wears it over his neck and shoulder like a little purse.
Yeah, he did the same when he was the NXT champion, I think.
The tag champ? Okay,
yeah, NXT tag champion, sorry.
Yeah. Well, anyways, the match itself was pretty fun. Like we said, we don't mind seeing Morrison in the mix here and some singles action. So, I mean, if this Miz is the champ, they can both have little singles runs for a bit. But eventually, Riddle hits the Bro Derek to get the win after some back and forth.
Yeah, him and John Morrison they had a really nice Spanish fly at one point, which is always a cool move. Yeah, like we were like I was kind of saying before, John Morrison, he's one of the older guys, but he hangs with the young guys, which is super cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Then we get a nice hype video package to let us know Rhea Ripley is coming to Raw. So
it's official, I guess. Was it official before?
I don't think we knew what brand, or we just assumed she'd be coming sooner than later. But
yeah.
Hopefully in time to get a program going for WrestleMania.
Do we think Rhea Ripley is the Andre the Giant Women's Battle Royal Champion? Is that where we're going to be booking her?
I hope she can be more than that. Maybe Ripley versus Charlotte Part 2.
Ooh.
Because Lacey's out, so... anyways.
Wait, is Rhea Ripley going to be pregnant with Ric Flair's baby now?
I hope not. But then we get some clips of Bad Bunny performing on Saturday Night Live, and he had his 24/7 title with him.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty funny.
WWE
must be paying him a lot of money for him to do something like.
I think he's actually really proud to be the champ, and he wants to be carrying it around.
Ah, that's a good point.
He loves WWE that much.
He clearly loves WWE that much. But that being said, I bet the WWE is paying him a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. And I bet they were like, hey, man, bring this title with you on the TV.
We'll give you
I was going to.
We'll give you I was going to anyways. Like, wow.
And Lorne Michaels is like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There was a bunch of WWFers, I think, that were on SNL one time. Involved in the cold open. I think it was like the first time The Rock was hosting, but it was like Triple H was there, Big Show, somebody else. And they had Vince was there, and they had a couple funny like little backstage segments alongside The Rock.
We go backstage where Bad Bunny's he just lives here now. He's hanging out with Priest still, getting interviewed. R-Truth comes up. Priest scares him away. So I think at this point it's almost a guarantee that Bad Bunny's going to wrestle at WrestleMania.
It's almost a guarantee. I would love to see a WrestleMania match for the 24/7 championship.
I mean, they could do that. I could also just see them tagging him up with Damien Priest so he doesn't have to do as much.
Yeah, hopefully not, because 39-year-old Damien Priest.
Yeah, Priest should be mixing it up with Riddle for these U.S. titles.
You would think, right? Yeah, but I guess if we're on Bad Bunny's side now, we're big face boys.
Vince just needs to pair him with someone that speaks Spanish, so he's like, that guy.
Ole.
I don't know. The New Day taking on Retribution members Mason T-Bar. Reckoning's at ringside, and Xavier's just yelling at her. He still wants that match. So do I, but we'll probably never get it. But in the meantime, we get a decent tag match here. Retribution got the big size advantage, but New Day is the New Day, so they can handle anyone. Kofi hits a pair of Trouble in Paradise, gets the pin for him and Xavier.
Ooh.
And afterwards, Mustafa Ali just cuts another angry promo. Mad at the group for failing again.
Yeah, why? I don't get it. I feel like eventually Mustafa Ali is either going to snap. He's going to snap and, break up the group. Or, get kicked out himself.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. This Retribution thing has been so weird ever since they fucking got here.
They have a couple of weeks where I'm like, oh, they're turning it around. They're winning. And then they lose again. And I don't know.
It's too bad.
The talent's there. Just let them blossom. I don't know. Adam Pearce comes out to the ring because the hour's up. It's time for the ultimatum. Lashley and Miz. Pearce says, Miz, you got to give us your decision. And he's like, I need more time. And they all start arguing, and he says, you deserve me at my best, so give me a week. And then Braun Strowman comes out because he wants to get involved and says, I should be getting this championship match. He starts arguing. He starts talking about Shane McMahon again. I don't know why he brings him up every week. Are we getting Braun versus Shane?
I thought we were getting Adam Pearce versus Shane.
I don't know. Maybe triple threat. Braun's just going to throw Sonya Deville in there. Put her over.
Yeah, put her over.
So anyways, Miz just starts stirring the pot between everyone until Shane O'Mac has to come out. He wants to straighten this out. He books Braun versus Bobby Lashley. If Braun wins, he'll be added to a triple threat match next week for the WWE title. If not, we're just going to get Miz versus Lashley next week. So either way, we're getting a title match. We'll get to that later, though.
Okay.
But in the meantime, Hurt Business takes on Lucha House Party in a tornado tag match, which you don't see too often. But anyways, that's just a way for Shelton to hit the pay dirt, get the win. Hurt Business.
The pay dirt. God, this felt like I guess this was like our second tag action of the night so far.
Yeah.
Wow. There's more to come, baby. There's way more to come.
Damien Priest takes on Angel Garza. Bad Bunny's there again, so I think Garza throws his pants at him. It gets him all angry. But eventually, Priest gets the win with the Hit the Lights, which I thought was called the Reckoning, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I did actually hear they renamed it so people don't confuse it with Reckoning.
I guess.
No, that is the reason.
No, I mean I understand the reason, but I mean I guess that's I don't know. There's lots of words that cross over.
Hey, I'm just just telling her how it is.
Anyways, Bunny celebrates with Priest. The gaggle runs out, but him and Damien take care of him. Bunny even throws a guy over the top rope, so he's been training.
If you can toss a guy over the top rope, you're ready to go.
Backstage, Orton's cutting a promo on The Fiend, and he's not coming, but there's a distraction still, taken away from his focus on the WWE title, and that's Alexa Bliss. And as he's talking, he starts coughing and trying to clear his throat, and then he finally has to stop and just pukes out a bunch of black liquid, and he stumbles off horrified. I mean, I'd be pretty freaked out.
He's coughing up blood now? Randy,
That's not blood. That was black, dark, soul-stealing evil is what he was coughing up.
No, you know what that is?
His very essence.
That was years of just nicotine abuse. Man, you gotta stop the vaping. Randy, you're coughing up black shit. You gotta stop vaping.
Yeah, either way, it's not good. Whatever it was, it's not good.
I don't know what's happened to you, but it's probably not good for you.
Can't be good for your cardio. If you're a wrestler, you got to be in tip-top shape. Tag action, though. Asuka and Charlotte taking on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And now, why does this one need to happen?
I think for the same reason that the last one needed to happen, which is no reason.
Well, the one thing I did like about this is that commentary did mention that Lana and Naomi are still getting that title shot, which I'm happy about. They didn't just forget about it.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
But the match was okay. Nothing behind it. Asuka gets isolated, worked over. Shayna Baszler kicks her in the head. And did you see the slow motion online where Shayna Baszler kicks Asuka so hard in the head, teeth come flying out of her skull?
Her teeth came flying out.
Yeah.
What the hell happened there, Shayna? You're too strong.
Yeah, I think it was just a slip. Like she meant to kick her with her toe, and then her foot kind of slid up. And
something like that.
Yeah,
God.
I didn't notice it in real time, but I saw the someone post a slow-mo online.
Hope for the
you
best.
You literally see teeth
We're
just...
hoping for the best. Jesus.
But anyways, Charlotte gets the hot tag. Later, Asuka comes back in. Looks like she's going to hit the Asuka lock, but then Charlotte tries to big boot Shayna, accidentally hits Asuka, so Nia Jax follows up with a leg drop to pin Asuka. It's on consecutive nights Nia Jax has pinned both champions. Insane.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
insane.
I do not get it. And of course, I think there was, Charlotte accidentally. It was the screwy finish or whatever. But we're fucking Nia's getting pins on both champions with a Samoa drop and a leg drop. If both of your finishers have one of the same words in it, you need a new finisher.
There was no my whole reference this week, was there?
No.
So we might be done with that.
Well, sure, we're done with that,
Surprising.
but now we're starting
I thought it was going to be 9
this.
weeks of it, like Lana through the table. 9 weeks of my whole.
I'd rather my whole than Nia getting wins.
Well, yeah. I know. But hopefully this is very limited time because that NXT match is coming up.
Yeah, fucking still no idea. Of course, like we've said, the Riot Squad, they're there. Charlotte Asuka need to feud for this title or just stop talking.
Yeah,
right?
Everything's. Yeah. So anyways, the match is over. Charlotte's like, Asuka, you fucked me. So she walks backstage.
Yeah, because if Charlotte's not going for a belt, what's the point?
Well, I think that's...
What's the point of Charlotte being here if she's not after a championship? And where is Andrade? We do have more wrestling coming up, though.
Jeff Hardy and Sheamus.
I remember last time we saw these guys on SmackDown throwing pee in each other's faces.
Yeah, the barroom brawl from last year. That was a lot of fun. This match wasn't quite as crazy. Just, Sheamus avoids a swanton, hits a brogue kick, gets the win. So they're still keeping him elevated.
Sheamus is still getting wins, which is a step in the right direction. Yeah,
him and Lashley are like the top two heels, I guess, right now. Backstage, Charlotte runs into Daddy Rick. And she's like, I can't do this crap anymore. I can't focus on my matches. You're dancing all around after Lacey announced she was pregnant. It's not funny for you to pretend it's yours. Just go home. So Rick says, I never said the baby was mine. So at least they get that out of the way.
He never said it wasn't.
He never said it was.
But
he always dances. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, I still don't. Similar to when we brought Ric Flair back a bunch of months, I don't know if we're supposed to. I don't know who we're cheering for out of this familial relationship here.
Well, Rick, if he's being honest, he says he just saw a lot of potential in Lacey. She's a genuine, good human being. But Charlotte's like, yeah, you've fucking done the same shit with blonde women all your life. And Rick thought he could motivate her. And anyways.
I don't know. I don't know what to make about all of this. But yeah, like we said, put Charlotte in a championship match. It'll be much easier.
Well, Charlotte was getting emotional here, it seems. She was almost crying.
Baby faces get emotional.
Well, yeah.
Baby
so she's
face
like,
Charlotte. Baby face Charlotte. Baby
I don't
face
get that.
Charlotte.
Well, the one thing I didn't get, she says that Rick's, she's like, I'm not Ric Flair's daughter, I'm Charlotte Flair. But then she goes around with the robes and the wooing and the figure 4 leg locks.
Figure 8.
Well, turns into the figure 8. Doesn't always. So I love you, but go home, Dad. So that's it. Hopefully that's it.
That's it? Hopefully that's it.
But yes, more tag action. It was a night of tag action. Naomi, Lana versus Dana and Mandy. Just a quick, easy win for Lana and Naomi to keep them in shape for that title match, I guess.
Yeah, this is too bad. Short, does nothing, really.
Yeah, it didn't need to happen. But AJ Styles took on Ricochet in a nice little athletic match. Eventually, Styles hits the Styles Clash, gets the win. And then I think almost picks up Ricochet off the ground, chokeslam.
Yeah, he tosses him. I think Styles Ricochet was actually the match that we saw at SummerSlam here in Toronto. It was around that U.S. title.
Styles Ricochet? Did we see Ricochet?
I believe so. I believe that was it would have been U.S. title winner or champion AJ probably defending there. I think so. But yeah, who knows? There was a lot of weird matches on this card that felt, it was a little bit weird for me up until here.
Well, let's just go to the main event. Braun Strowman taking on Bobby Lashley, where if Braun wins, he's added to that title match next week. But, I mean, Braun's a heel, right?
Okay, Braun gets thrown around more. He's the Big Show. He just gets thrown wherever you need him. He'll fit in. I mean, I don't even know. Was Raw Underground Braun supposed to be a babyface?
I don't know. Those gloves.
Because he dressed meanly.
Yeah.
He dressed like he's a meanie. I have no idea. I mean, I think these are two heels fighting for the opportunity to face another heel. That's the way I kind of. This is a rare
heel. Yeah.
Triple heel threat. This is a weird one.
More heels than a dance floor.
More heels than fashion runway. I'll come up with a better one. Don't worry.
Anyways, so we get this big man power match here. Braun hits a power slam, but Lashley kicks out. I don't think too many men have done that.
No.
So Bobby, he's on fire here. He comes back. He hits a big spine buster to Braun, and then the spear. And that gets him the victory. Looking very strong here.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Usually if Braun loses, it's, there's probably some kind of shenanigans there or something. But, Bobby Lashley is a dude who can and should be able to beat Braun Strowman every time.
Yeah, this was clean, strong win. So next week, one-on-one, Miz versus Lashley for the title. And I could see Lashley win this title on Monday Night Raw.
God, winning it on Monday Night Raw.
Like Drew did a few months ago.
That would be big. God,
And then you get Lashley Drew at WrestleMania.
Get Lashley Drew. I mean, what happened to the unless we've has anyone given up on the dream of Lashley Brock?
Well, I know Lashley hasn't given up.
Lashley Brock. Just
if Brock wants to,
just in time for Mania.
I mean, there'll be fans in attendance, so if that's the
that's like the caveat for him.
For Brock, yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? It will be. I'm so excited to be on the road, and I'm going like 40. It's we're kind of like a residential street right now. I'm not quite building up to the more like an industrial parkway kind of thing where it's more open roads but still single laned. Eventually kind of working our way up to a. Like Davis Drive heading to Mount
Green
Albert.
Lane.
Yeah, Green Lane is kind of, and then eventually, of course,
Fast Lane's the Green Lane.
Fast Lane, Green Lane, and then eventually we move on to the highway. But yeah, like we said, the engines are revving. Mike, how about we take a quick break?
Let's take a break.
We're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back because we have all the Wednesday Night War and no pay-per-view to preview, so that'll be fun.
Hey.
So stick with
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
Back here with part 2 of the show here. God, it almost feels like, with part 2 with nothing to lead up to. There's no pay-per-view this weekend. This is just an aimless part of the podcast.
Oh, I mean, there's still direction. It's just, we're always moving forward.
Yeah, we always are moving forward. Well, let's go to the show with less pay-per-view implications. Yeah, that makes sense in my mind because we did have Vengeance Day a couple weeks back, so we are probably a couple months away from the next kind of culmination, but doesn't mean there is not a lot of action still going on NXT.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Set a tap out, a count out, 1, 2, 3.
I think what's hopeful, the biggest part of the show we have coming on, Adam Cole, what the hell is he doing? Karrion Kross, Santos Escobar, what the hell are they doing? A lot of what the hell's going on over here in NXT, and we kick off. I think with I think the show opens with this kind of Karrion Kross Scarlett promo. Does she have a last name, or was she just Scarlett?
I think it's Scarlett Boudreaux. I don't know if they've ever said it.
Okay.
And then so they did their thing, and I think throughout the show, William Regal's like checking the parking lot, waiting for Escobar to show up.
Of course. Well, we finally someone's keeping an eye out on that parking lot.
Yeah, and I mean, if he doesn't show up, he's stripped of his title, so he's got the clock ticking.
And then what? Karrion Kross would be the cruiserweight champion?
I don't think he's allowed, but I don't know. Let's get into some matches here because we start off Dexter Lewis taking on Johnny Gargano. Austin Theory's been rescued. He's been saved. But Loomis still just being his cold, self. The Ways just interfering in the match. Loomis thwarts them. But, eventually Johnny tries to use a chair, but Loomis stops him. Theory tries to hit him as well. And I think eventually Loomis just hits the side effect. Anaconda Vice, and Gargano passes out. So Loomis gets a big win.
Big win over the United States champion. Sorry, not United States, North American champion.
Yes. So, Dexter Lewis, he's always freaking people out.
Yeah, such a cool gimmick. And he had that injury that kind of kept him out, right, when he was getting a little bit hot.
Yeah, he might have held this title already if it wasn't for that.
Who knows? But, it's great to see it. You love seeing it.
Then MSK are interviewed backstage, but they get jumped by the Grizzled Young Vets, and they get beaten up. I think they stomp on one of their arms. They fuck them up. Lee, just 1 week before their big title shot. So.
Yeah, what are their names? I haven't nailed down their names yet. One's like Wes.
I know it's Lee and Carter.
Wes Carter? Is that something?
And something Lee.
Okay.
I don't know. Lee and Carter.
Lee and Carter. We'll go for that. I mean, of course, it's only a matter of time until they get reduced down to one name.
Probably. But Tyler Rust is supposed to take on Leon Ruff, but Leon just gets attacked by Isaiah Swerve Scott, so we get no match.
Poor Ruff.
Just heel Swerve. Yeah, but he's on TV. He's doing all right.
Way to go, guy.
And then we go backstage. Cameron Grimes is watching old clips of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and he wants to imitate him. So he offers a guy backstage $1,000 if he can dribble a basketball 10 times, which the guy does easily because Grimey forgot to do the part where $1 Million Man kicks the ball away from the kid. He didn't watch the whole video. But anyways, we'll see more of him. But Zoe Stark is here to take on Io Shirai. What was her name again? Before I forget.
Zoe Stark?
Yeah, didn't she just come in? She was someone else.
I don't.
They signed her. Oh, it doesn't matter. She looks pretty good here. She goes toe to toe with the champ in a non-title match, but eventually Io hits the over the moonsault, gets the win. But she's a good sport. They hug after the match, and then Toni Storm comes out, cuts a promo on Io. She wants another shot, but she wants it one-on-one because she didn't get pinned. It was Mercedes. So, and Io's like, all right, anytime, anywhere. Tony says, prove it. And eventually, we find out that match will take place in 2 weeks.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Tony could win.
Yeah, well, love seeing this belt, getting defended. I feel like we haven't seen Io Shirai in one-on-one action. It's been a while because even before this triple threat business, I think she, was War Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the match she won the title was a triple threat.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh God, and that was back in your house? Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see, but that should be a lot of fun, that match.
Yeah.
Backstage, the Way are all talking about Loomis, but Austin Theory is coming around a bit. He says he actually thinks he's a little bit misunderstood. And then Indy Hartwell says, yeah, he's kind of hot. And then Johnny and Candace are like, what? They freak out. He says, that's it. We're going to therapy. So I guess we're going to see some family therapy next week.
Way family therapy. Fantastic.
Dr. Marvin Monroe.
I love that. NXT does this too, or at least the Way have been doing this, where it's like that's something that we can pre-film. I feel like if this was on the main roster, that's a segment that happens in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, when it doesn't need to.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, oh, it doesn't have to happen inside of the ring. It can happen on a screen that we all watch.
Then we go back to Cameron Grimes, who hits the streets now for some more basketball wagers. But he picks the wrong person. This very tall woman stands up. I believe she's a professional basketball player. And she just dribbles the ball. Grimes tries to kick it away, but she easily just dribbles right around him, wins $1,000, just like that.
Well, when that happens, the people, those who have money, they will just frivolously spend it, flaunt it.
Have you ever been offered a large sum of money to do something simple?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
no.
I saw a friend of mine eat a ladybug for $5.
I ate a ladybug for free one time. I think I was like 5.
But I was going to say, this was a man in his 20s.
For $5?
Yeah.
That feels like a lot of money.
In your 20s?
To eat to eat a ladybug. Like, to eat a ladybug, that's like $1 max.
No,
you could hardly taste it. It's like,
I know, but it's the principle of it. Why should I eat the ladybug?
Right,
Why should I demean myself for $1?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Anyways, Casey Catanzaro is taking on Xia Li. And just badass Xia continues to look awesome here. Casey lasts a bit longer than the other opponents have, but still, the fight spills out to the floor. Xia slams Casey into the barricade and then lays her out on the steel steps and just stomps her hard on that leg. And Casey's screaming in pain. She just drags her back into the ring by the hair, and the ref has to make a judgment call. Ends the match right there. So Xia's your winner by ref stoppage.
Xia, way to go. The imposing force.
Yeah, I'm really liking it. Kaiden's pissed off. She's still yelling around and trying to get in the face of the Tian Sha. Eventually,
you don't want to get booked like that. Just wear a mask.
Well, I don't know. I'm liking it. But Casey gets helped up. Xia hits her with another roundhouse kick and runs off. So Xia Li, early running for maybe breakout of the year.
Breakouts. Well, hey, we need to see her in a match. We need to see her in a real match. There's so much talent.
There's still lots of time left in this year.
There's so much talent in this NXT Women's Division. Let's get Xia Li. I think it's time for her to be, kind of bump up to that top ring. Maybe, let's see her against Candice LeRae. Let's get her going up against Mercedes Martinez. Some of these people.
I'm all for it. But yeah, let's go along. Cameron Grimes is pissed off. He's just lost a couple $1,000. So he's walking through the NXT parking lot, and he finds one more guy. He yells at him. For the same deal. The guy goes to dribble the ball, but this time Grimey just punches him in the face. So he wins the bet. He says, "Ted DiBiase, kiss my grits." And he just throws his money in the air. Money can buy happiness, he says. And he celebrates.
Let's celebrate in the ring, though. Celebrate with a couple matches.
I think it's only a matter of time until he makes some bad business decisions and he goes back to broke old
Goes
Cameron
back
Grimes.
to bankrupt? I don't know. I hope not.
I mean, yeah, I want to see him wrestle in this persona
Keep
for
a gimmick. Don't just do a gimmick and then get rid of it.
I mean, we'll see.
We have seen that before.
It won't be forever. This Rich Grimey. I mean, it could be. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
When John Cena switched from the rapper to the serious guy, he never went back.
Exactly. He never went back to insulting women on a microphone in front of thousands of people.
Yeah. Drake Maverick and Killian Dane take on Grizzled Young Vets. And before the match, Grizzled Young Vets announced that Lee of MSK's got a broken arm from their attack earlier. So that title match might be delayed.
That sucks.
Yeah, they had such momentum. Who knows? Hopefully it's not a real injury that they're covering.
Well, I mean, if but even if they're covering for like another real injury.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, who knows? Hopefully they'll be back sooner than later.
Yeah.
But, in the meantime, we get this other tag match here. Were Drake and Killian, were they in the Dusty Cup? I can't even remember.
I think they were a first round elimination.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Grizzled Young Vets got more going for them right now, so they hit the ticket to Mayhem, get the win.
Yeah, because that's the way you got to do it.
That's the way you got to do it. And then we go to the parking lot where Escobar's white van. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't. That was Loomis's white van. I don't know. Escobar's
in a black truck, I think.
Escalade or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, a black Escalade arrives. His cartel's there. Cross tries to jump them, but Escobar attacks him from behind. And we just kind of start this fight because it's a no DQ match. It's not a false count anywhere, but they can do what the fuck they want. So they're just brawling in the parking lot. They fight into the back of a semi-truck, and Escobar slams the door down on Cross. That injured shoulder of his, right? Mm-hmm. Surgically repaired. And then I think Escobar tries to lock himself in the front door and hide, so Cross just grabs this conveniently placed pickaxe that was just kind of tucked away under the truck's wheel there.
Which is
swinging.
A normal place for a pickaxe to be tucked in a truck in South Florida. Normal place.
Yeah. I guess in South Florida you gotta be safe.
Prepared for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that bath salts girl?
Zombie man.
Exactly. You got to be ready for that shit.
Yeah. But doesn't that mean the zombie could grab the pickaxe just as easy?
Well, I think the zombie...
I mean, doesn't have the coordination, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think also the zombie, like, they're really just after the brain. They're not using tools.
They're not as smart as... Yeah.
No.
Well, anyways, eventually he gets them out of the truck, and there's garbage cans involved. They're 3-on-1 against Cross. Eventually, they get back into the Capitol Wrestling Center here, and Cross starts fighting back, beats up the other guys. We get some chair shots. He's still dealing with the Mendoza and Wild, though, so eventually Cross hits a big Saito suplex off the steps through an announce table, and then back in the ring, he hits another one, followed by his big running elbow to the back of the head. And that gets Cross the win. So hopefully this feud can be over, because it didn't do much for me.
Yeah, I feel like I was actually excited for it. You know, it was starting the match in the parking lot, kind of, added a little bit of craziness, chaos.
Yeah, the truck
to
slamming spot was cool.
But yeah, I
like
think
that.
the shit they did around the ring, sort of in the space of the ring, I found to be way more interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought this match was it was good, but I thought like it could have been better.
Yeah, the way they were building it
felt
really
like
nothing.
Yeah, I know these guys have had matches in the past, and I was like, shit, great, but who knows?
Well, luckily for us, the main event was actually Adam Cole coming out. He's got a lot of explaining to do. Talks about laying out Kyle O'Reilly last week and, causing him to be taken out on a stretcher. And Cole does not like the man he's become. He was mad at Kyle for failing, but he's ashamed of his actions, and he's going to do everything he can to fix this. But then Roderick Strong comes out, just like, wow, Adam, now you feel bad? After the past 10 days, you didn't let me know what the hell was going on. What did you do? What did Kyle do to us? I don't know. Everything's changed now. We were built on brotherhood, trust, love, all that shit. But then eventually... Finn Balor comes out. He goes after Adam Cole, just starts swinging. Then Roddy goes to help him, so Balor fights him. Everyone's fighting, and then I think Cole super kicks Balor. And then Cole gets back in the ring, but Roddy clotheslines him. So he's standing up to the leader. And Adam Cole just keeps telling Roddy he's sorry. He's on his knees. He's crying. And then Roddy goes to console him. He says, I love you. You're my brother. And they have a little hug. But then when Roddy goes to help him up, Cole nails him with a low blow and then super kicks him. So big, bad Adam Cole just standing tall to end the show.
Big, bad Adam Cole. Baddest dog. You know that song. Yeah, this is it, baby. This is
it. No going back.
This is the full heel turn. Poor Bobby Fish. probably
I know, he's
seeing.
just sit at home like, what the fuck, guys?
Guys, I leave you alone for 20 minutes for a couple months.
The whole thing's
Fish and O'Reilly. First I thought Fish O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong and Adam Cole, but no, it's really Adam Cole versus everybody else. The Undisputed Era would have been fantastic on Raw or on SmackDown. But maybe they have to break up only to find each other again. I mean, of course, every stable has a shelf life.
Yeah, and
except for the New Day.
You can. But no, I mean, that could work. You bring up Adam Cole, let everyone know who he is, and then after a little while, if things aren't going his way, he's like, well, now it's time to bring in the backup. And then he's got a whole stable.
Yeah, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, that'll be a banger. And we'll probably get Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, even before that, which will probably also be a banger, right?
Yeah, and then hopefully sooner than later, Bobby Fish will be back in action.
And this doesn't even have to happen for this title, I mean, Adam Cole wants it, but I mean, I don't know.
I mean, Kyle's got to get it first.
Kyle's going to get it first. Karrion Kross is a babyface now, so we know where he's coming for it. God, yeah, so many things in this main event, and I don't even want to say mid-card. It's kind of like main event A and main event B on NXT is huge right now.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and I like it.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even see Pete Dunne this week or any of those guys.
Didn't even see Pete Dunne. Didn't see the Thatch Man. We didn't see Ciampa. NXT is just fucking... we didn't see the Velveteen Dream in 6.5 months.
Like a year. Yeah. No, they've got so much talent, but most of the time they're using it right as well, which is a nice thing.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Well, let's switch our shows to I guess, what is it, TNT, home of the NBA, home of I don't know if you ever watched the commercials for TNT. They're always playing like just Star Wars marathons and fucking here's all the Avengers movies and all that kind of shit. I don't know how they have the rights to these things or like whatever the heck they are.
I don't know who watches movies on TV.
And who's watching movies on TV?
Commercials
exactly. But for the 57-time Wednesday Night War winning AEW Dynamite.
AEW. All Elite. They coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
That's right. Well, it's first piece of news. They announced it before Dynamite, but it's official. Paul White, formerly known as The Big Show, has signed on with AEW.
Turned heel once again, baby. It wouldn't be right. I heard this news. I had just played a couple rounds, and I was getting on the bus, opened my phone, and Big Show's trending. You're like, uh-oh, is he dead? Which is the very first thing you think about when...
Sadly, yes.
I know, yeah, because I knew he was a little too good to get Me Too'd. He's on the show and stuff like that. And that's correct, yeah. Paul White... the Giant, as he's been known.
Yeah, the Big Show. I think they said he signed on for commentary, but I think we'll see him in the ring at some point or another.
We'll probably see him certainly on Dynamite now that he's within the company. So there's a new AEW show. There's a new AEW show.
Officially?
So you know how we have Dark.
Yeah.
And that does its thing. So this one is called Dark Elevation. Okay, so it's another show that I believe is on YouTube, but on Monday nights now. They're, like live. And then he will be doing commentary on that thing. What is it? I have no idea.
It seems,
Like
3 days in a row of AEW.
Like it's sort of I think it is intended to be their spot to bring people up. But then I already kind of thought that's what Dark was. I have no idea. However, AEW Elevation will be coming to us soon. Paul White will be one of the commentary along Tony Schiavone, I believe, because he's just fucking crushing it.
Yeah. But still a bit surprising. I thought Big Show was a lifer in WWE for sure. But I guess the COVID contract came up. They didn't give him an offer he liked, so he said, I'll take more money at AEW.
Of course. I mean, I'm sure he's taking more money over here. I'm sure, those over at Turner love to have him back. I'm sure he loves working back there, too.
And he was supposed to have a WrestleMania match against Shaq. And now that could happen again. Now that Shaq's in AEW.
Shaq's in AEW, baby. We got Snoop. We got Shaq. We got everyone.
Yeah.
But but let's get into the show, shall we?
Yes. We just kick right off with Jon Moxley taking on Nick Nemeth. So you know what's going to happen here. Nemeth gets a few moves in, but he's not winning. Moxley hits a nice...
They called him the Hollywood Hunk. I don't know if you caught this one.
Yeah, it said hunk on his butt. Ziggler Jr. Yeah. Mox hits the paradigm shift, gets the win. And then afterwards, he just grabs a chair, sits down, cuts a promo on Kenny and this upcoming exploding barbed wire death match, which I've been preparing. I've been watching a couple of the old Japanese ones, and they're pretty wild.
Yeah, I've seen. I did also see a couple highlights that kind of popped up there. And yeah, they did. It looks.
Some of the explosions are pretty decent. Some are better than others.
I have no idea what's going to happen, but it does actually kind of sound. Well, I mean, we'll be watching no matter what, right?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely watching on a Sunday, but we'll get to that. We get some tag action here. The Varsity Blondes taking on Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. The Blondes put up a good little fight. You know, they're hitting some nice high flying moves, but. Yeah, eventually Cage, he power bombs one of them into the ring post, and then later after hits the drill claw, gets the win for Team Taz. But as they celebrate, we get a video on the screen. It's like Darby Allin still in the body bag in the desert, but he comes out, and then Sting comes out live in the crowd, dragging a body bag, which he opens up to reveal Taz's son Hook. And then Sting points up to the rafters where Darby Allin comes ziplining down with his skateboard. And then him and Sting just lay a beat down with their... Sting hits his Stinger Splash, Scorpion Death Drop, and looking good, standing tall.
Wow. Yeah, looking good, kind of. I guess.
Pretty good.
I mean, looking good.
He's like 60.
As a 60-year-old could. I always like it when... and when I say like it, I mean, it's funny. When performers in the ring wear their T-shirts that you could also buy online, because that's like it's not a part of their wrestling garb. Similar to on a Survivor Series when we have the 5-on-5 Eliminator style, and then like Team Raw is wearing those T-shirts. It's like you would never wear those T-shirts, dog. And I like it when Sting's doing that right now. He had his shopaew.com Sting T-shirt on. I'm sure you could buy yours for tonight only. You can get 20% off. I like that. I always think it's a little funny.
Well, in Sting's case, he's done it in the past. I think it might be by design to hide his figure a bit. He's got a bit of belly poking out. This does a better job than the tights.
Yeah,
hiding
unfortunately.
Because he's wrestled in the T-shirt before. He's wrestled in a T-shirt over top of his tights for that exact reason.
Oh, they'll probably do it. Yeah, what's Kevin Owens do to make himself...
Because a street fight, you're allowed to do that, you know? Yeah. You're more street, so he can...
Yeah, I think, what does KO do to make himself look skinnier? You know, because...
He has, like, those compression, like, Under Armour shirts.
Let's get some compression shirts on Sting out there, you know?
I mean, the belly still shows, though. You can see Kevin's.
Push it all up instead.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of the belly.
Hey, release the belly.
Release the belly. Free the belly.
Free the belly.
But anyways, Tony Schiavone is having an interview with Miro, Kip, Penelope, when he gets handed a note from Orange Cassidy and Chuck, I guess, challenging them to Revolution. Or a match at Revolution.
I'm challenging to a match at Revolution. Well, of course, we're slowly building that card, and Trent is still...
hurt?
Injured, yeah.
Yeah. I guess he's probably out for a little while. I think it was
like a pec.
I forget.
I think he ripped his pec.
Yeah, pectoral tear. Yeah. Then Brandon Cutler in his whole little dragon outfit he comes out in.
I think that's just his outfit.
Well, I mean, the mask he takes off, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's got that cool little face paint underneath, yeah.
Like God of War or something. But he's taking on Jake Hager. But Cutler apparently been on a roll, winning 8 out of 9. But not this time. Hager defeats him with a big clothesline from hell, which might be a new finisher for him. But afterwards, Inner Circle come down. They beat up Cutler some more until the Young Bucks come out to make the save. And they get on the microphone, call out Jericho and MJF, and their music hits, but they don't come out. They just appear on the screen instead and talk about the upcoming tag title shot they're getting. And then they reveal that they have the father, Mr. Jackson, of the Young Bucks. He's been beaten up and bloodied. And they just slam him headfirst into the truck. Right on their son's faces on that truck.
Not Papa Buck.
Papa Buck, the grand buck of the herd. So the Young Bucks run off to help him, but by the time they get there, MJF and Jericho are in their getaway car just laughing out the sunroof as Mr. Buck is loaded into an ambulance.
Yeah, another good segment here. I guess we only have a couple more weeks for that. We still just need to remember that this match is happening.
Yeah, I guess, and I mean the Bucks are heels, but I guess in this match they're not as much of a heel because they're not attacking people's fathers.
Yeah, as soon as you go after family, remember Mrs. Dad, Shane going after Mrs. Dad.
I love that guy. Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head. As soon as you go after Mr. Potato Head, you're gonna get something coming back to you. I also like how Papa Buck has his hair is the same length as his son's hair. It's also in the ponytail back.
But very much thinner.
Of course, but I do think it's a good look on him.
Oh yeah, he looked good.
Yeah.
Hangman Adam Page is taking on Isaiah Cassidy. And the match, the match was going fine. Matt Hardy, though, is at ringside just trying to fuck around. The Hybrid 2 is there as well. They're all trying to cheat, distracting the ref. Hardy grabs Hangman, but then the Dark Order come and running out to tell the referee, Aubrey, what's going on. And she does the right thing, ejects Matt from ringside, so we can get back to a nice, clean match here. And they actually got a lot of time. Isaiah Cassidy showing he can hang as a singles wrestler if he needs to, but... Mm-hmm. Eventually, Hangman hits the Deadeye, gets the win, which I like to see. He doesn't use it as much as the Buckshot, so I always like to see the Deadeye.
Well, yeah, and the Buckshot Lariat was alongside that move with Kenny. Those matches with Kenny never ended with a Deadeye a fucking one-winged angel. This move is still super protected too.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's kicked out in AEW at least.
No one that comes to mind. Because we had that Buckshot V-Trigger combo for so long.
That's right. So good match. And then afterwards, Hardy just cuts a promo. You turned me down, so I'm going to hurt the Dark Order that you love so much. And then he appears on the stage and throws number 5 right off of it through a table.
Not Alan Angels.
Alan Angles?
Angles?
No, Angels.
He's one of... I don't know if I could rank my favorite Dark Order members. But this is getting close. Obviously, Papa Hungy is number 1 up there on the list. They're buds. These guys are all buds. Hangman Page doesn't want to be a part of the Dark Order in name. However, he is very thankful for their friendship. Just last week on being the Elite. They always just have such a fun celebrating time when he's around, and I think that's something that Adam Hangman Page needs after having such a tumultuous time with the EVPs up there in the Elite. He needs a group of buddies that he can just have a laugh with.
Yeah, and they treat him like he's the life of the party.
It's not all about politics.
They're like, hey, Hangman's here. Woohoo!
They did a good on being the Elite this week. They did a good "this guy fucks" thing to Hangman Page, and then he looks back at them like, well, guys, I don't want to talk about it. And then they all start yelling, this guy fucks, in their little bar backstage area back. They're yelling, this guy fucks, and Tony Schiavone comes bursting in the room like, guys, shut up, we're doing, why are you guys yelling? Sorry. So yeah, they're buddies. They're going to continue to be buddies. Yeah.
It'll become an official.
Friends with benefits?
Yeah, they'll make it. Then we get some updates on the AEW Women's Eliminator Tournament. The stuff that happened on YouTube. We had Nyla Rose and Ty Conti with a nice physical match, which Nyla won. And then Britt Baker was supposed to face Anna Jay, but unfortunately, we learned she's going to be out for a while with 6 months, 12 months.
Yeah, I didn't even hear what the injury was. It just said, 6 to 12 months. I was like, great.
Some surgery. Unfortunate. So she gets replaced by Maddie Ronkowski who I don't know very much, but Britt Baker beats her, so it doesn't matter anyways. And then over in Japan, Yuka Sakazaki defeated Emi Sakura to move on to that bracket's finals, where she'll face Ryo Mizunami, who beat Aja Kong.
Yeah, I've been flipping through some of these Japan matches out there in Japan.
Yeah.
They package them very nicely, and they're filmed well.
I like the different ring with like the blue mat.
Yeah, and it's a high
that.
enough quality that it is a lot of very watchable stuff. The question just becomes, is are we going all in with Britt Baker right now? Like, why is?
I don't know. There's a couple options here that could win, but I certainly hope.
No,
Baker's...
I mean, and that's what I think. This is the perfect opportunity for them to do so. I think like. Either they're scared about her injury history, which she's had a little bit of an injury history. They either see her as more of an entertainer than a wrestler, somebody who can do, like on mic segments, great for their YouTube channel, which, AEW's huge on. Yeah, it's either like she needs to be the champion of this women's roster or have a larger role than the roster itself. But either way, I feel like it's time to just fucking go all in on it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like.
Amen.
Well, let's find out, because after that recap, we jump into some live action. The U.S. semifinals here. Nyla Rose taking on Britt Baker. Baker dealing with that size disadvantage, but she does have Reba at ringside, so she jumps in whenever she can. And she even whips Nyla with a little towel and runs off. Then later, Baker removes the turnbuckle pad at one point, exposing that unforgiving steel. But Nyla regains control, goes up to the top rope. Reba jumps on the apron, so Nyla grabs her and just slams her down. Takes her out with a cannonball. And then she runs back at Baker, but Britt moves and slams Nyla head first into that exposed steel turnbuckle. And then Russian leg sweeps Nyla, rolls through into the lockjaw. But Nyla powers her way out. Just kind of stands up, slams Baker down. So we get a bunch of near falls, close calls here. Nyla hits the monster bomb, but Baker kicks out at 2. So then we have one final sequence of moves back and forth. Nyla hits another beast bomb, and this time gets a 3 count. So just like that, our hopes are dashed.
Well, I guess this is not the time to go all in on Britt Baker. And I don't get it. So I think, I think what I don't understand is that, like, we already had Nyla Riho once.
Yeah. And Nyla already won the belt and lost
Nyla won the belt and lost it. So we've kind of brought somebody who has more or less been off of television the last, at least since she lost it back at Double or Nothing, bringing her back into the semifinals, which is pretty far to make it, to kind of get her rematch, possibly even getting her revenge and putting her into the finals. Seems like a weird move.
Yeah, I mean, the path was wide open for Baker. Why not? You haven't really given her much yet in her career here in AEW. This was, even if she didn't have to win, at least let her get to the finals of the USA bracket.
Or the semifinal of the tournament or the final of the tournament, whatever.
Of the bracket.
Whatever have you. I will never understand why Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is not the top of the division right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and to no discredit, Thunder Rosa gets booked better. To no discredit of anybody else's, we love Thunder Rosa over here too. But like, she doesn't.
Well, I mean, there was a built-in storyline. You could have had them meet in the bracket in the semifinals.
Rosa Baker too.
Would have been good.
That would have a little kind of selling potential to it. But I mean, Thunder Rosa Riho was also going to be a good match.
But that being said, I will say I thought the match itself was actually pretty good. I mean, Baker did kick out of a monster bomb. They let her look pretty good here. So the tournament itself, I've been liking. 3 weeks of good matches on TV.
Yeah, because I don't know right now if Britt Baker's a babyface or a heel also.
I mean, I think she's supposed to be a heel because she's using Rebel for all that cheating shit.
Yeah, but I thought Nyla Rose, if anyone, would be heel.
I mean, they're both heels, I guess.
Okay, yeah, because certainly, kicking out of that big maneuver. Kicking out of that big time maneuver, you're like, oh, okay, that's big.
Yeah. So, I don't know. All I know is that Nyla Rose will face the winner of Thunder Rosa versus Riho, which that one could go either way.
Yeah, really could.
But let's go to the main event of this show. We've got Rey Fenix versus Lance Archer. This is a qualifier match to get into the ladder match at Revolution, which itself is for a title shot at the TNT title, I believe. So I guess they'll hang something, a briefcase or something. Who knows?
Yeah, they have to hang something there.
Yeah.
Even if
it's not going to be a poker chip.
Not going to be a poker chip. It could be a briefcase. Or it could just be a piece of paper loose on a hook.
Yeah. Anyways, we get a nice match here. Size versus speed. Rey Fenix just does his weekly suicide dive where he always just goes so fast right over the barricade every time.
And he lands, he lands sitting on the barricade, which is kind of like it's the new, it's like the Phoenix Splash, kind of, or the Phoenix
pretty much
Tope. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's it. Jake the Snake is interfering. He knocks Phoenix off the top rope, and so Phoenix just goes and does a big running dive right over Jake's head off the stage. But then Archer regains control and just beating Phoenix around until Phoenix, he has a nice comeback spot. He's doing all his tight rope walking, bouncing around, hits a big Spanish fly off the top rope. But the Murder Hawk recovers, but Phoenix keeps kicking out of everything he's throwing at him until Archer finally hits the blackout. That ends the match. He moves on to the ladder match, which he's already got experience winning in AEW.
I mean, he won it the last time he was in it.
Yeah, so, but pretty fun main event there.
Yeah, no, it really was. Yeah, kind of like these two different styles almost going at it. But Lance Archer's quick enough to deal with the quick guys, and Rey Fenix is strong enough to deal with the big guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a fun. Yeah, it's fun when that works out. So he's added to that. Who else? Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky.
The Revolution card is looking pretty good. Just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, who else? I can't remember.
Getting ladder matched.
Yeah, I can't remember who else. I think Preston Vance, maybe. Preston Vance is going to be in it? Number 10?
Maybe.
I swear I saw his name. Anyways, yeah, that one's coming up. We'll probably, we'll get the finale of that to figure out who everybody in the match is. And it always leaves open the spot for, who knows, somebody.
Oh, yeah. Penta. Penta is in the match.
Somebody new to debut, maybe. I mean, of course, it sort of feels like at every one of these big pay-per-views we had, I think, at Double or Nothing, we had Brian Cage debut. Winter is Coming. We had Sting.
Yeah. No, I mean, we'll go over the card next week, but as of right now, there's 8 matches, which I think that's all you need. That's going to be a pretty...
Yoink, Scoob.
Yeah. I mean, I think the last show we watched together, it ended up running pretty long.
Yeah, Full Gear. That was a long one.
Full Gear. Yeah, but looking forward to it. Good build for all these matches so far.
Great build, and I guess we'll hear more info about that next week. And that was the entire wrestling week of the show. Before we end the show, however, let's get to some of the nitty-gritty. Let's get to the Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week.
Coming hot off the chamber, Mike, I'm going to come in with it. 2 great chamber matches on either side. Of course, Cesaro looked great doing chin-ups up on the top of the cage. I love Sami Zayn's little "I'm trying to hold the door shut" kind of thing. Yeah. But of course, we're if I'm looking at my Wrestler of the Week, I'm going to the star-studded power of this main event. And hey, sometimes you don't even have to be in the main event to be the main event, because all it takes is a quick cash in to truly change the professional wrestling landscape. You're right, this one was a quick one in relation to some of the other ones that we have seen, and for that speed, The Miz, congratulations on your second WWE Championship. Well earned, well deserved, and you are the Wrestler of the Week.
Possibly first time Wrestler of the Week.
Possibly. Yeah. He could be.
Well, yes, the Elimination Chamber. A lot of A lot of good spots, hard fought matches, but at the end of the day, the man who had the most impact at the end of the show was indeed The Miz, cashing in, becoming a WWE champ. So I'm going to have to agree on that one. Mike The Miz.
Becoming both a WWE champion and a unanimous Wrestler of the Week. Those are two huge honors in a short period of time.
Yes, indeed.
And that was all the time for the show. Thanks for listening, folks. The podcast is all over the internet and the data sphere, as we're calling it. We're not censored, which is great. It's open, explicit content, so watch out. We say some dirty words sometimes.
Oh, yeah. We're going off the rails.
It has been known to happen. Thanks for listening. Be sure to come back next week because we do have to talk. We do have this Revolution pay-per-view coming up, so surely that card is going to be looking a lot nicer than it already is.
Yeah, we'll get to that. And everything else that happens in between. I mean, Lashley could be the WWE champ.
But next time we talk, we could have a brand new WWE champion, which is just so golly.
And new NXT Women's champs.
We could have a new. We could have new tag teams. We could have new tag champs. We don't know what is going to happen, so that's why you're going to have to come back and listen to this. Mike, take care of yourself.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next.